And then what ended up happening is those seeds actually rotted in the ground. They didn't germinate and they just became mushy, and then I had to replant another set of seeds. Hey, and welcome back to Mini Urban Farm, a channel about gardening and homesteading in the suburbs. Today I'm going to tell you exactly when you should be planting your seeds and when's the best time to transplant those seedlings. So let's start with direct sown seeds. I'm going to set you guys down right here. Whoops, set up my little tripod here. Alright, so for direct sowing seeds, anything that comes in like a packet like this, loose seeds that have not been established yet, really the best time to direct sow seeds is when it's going to be nice and sunny out. First thing in the morning is the best time because seeds need heat to germinate. They don't always need sunlight, some seeds do, but they always will need heat. So when it is a very sunny and humid day out, that is going to be your best bet for sowing seeds. Anything in a packet like this, I'll take these out first thing in the morning. Right after I wake up, I will take my little seed packet, and then according to the instructions on the back of the packet here, I am going to plant them at whatever depth it tells me. I will water them in first thing in the morning. That way throughout the day, the heat will just basically warm them up and allow them to start their germination process. Now, that is not the case for things like this. Little transplants. Here I have a basil transplant. I actually took this basil cutting from another one of my basil plants. I let it root. I put it in just a pot that I had, I think from like another plant. I think it's a flower plant from Home Depot. And I basically just allowed it to grow in here until it's probably about this big or so. I won't be planting this out anytime soon. I'll end up probably selling this one. But the best time of day to transplant anything like this into the garden is on a cloudy day or in the mid-afternoon. Any time where it's not scorching hot outside. And that is for the simple reason that these little plants, right, this doesn't have like roots growing for a foot or anything. It has minimal roots, and you want the roots to be able to establish themselves in ground or in the raised beds or wherever it is that you are, planting them out. Now, if they are trying to establish their roots and it is 85, 90, whatever degrees hot outside it is, they're going to be struggling to do both at the same time to survive in the hot weather and to transplant, and they will literally go into transplant shock where they will just wilt and die. You'll be able to see their poor little leaves just kind of like looking really sorry, and you're not going to have a very happy transplant. So the best time of day to transplant these out are going to be mid-afternoon or on a cloudy day. Today is actually the perfect day for me to transplant anything out into the garden that I want to, because it has been cloudy all day. You can see it is really not sunny outside at all. It has been like this the entire day since 10 a.m. So basically I could have transplanted things if I really wanted to early this morning. It stayed like this the entire day and the sun has not come out other than what you see here. Now, for both transplants and for direct sown seeds, you want to make sure that you're not planting them out when there's going to be very severe weather conditions, right? If there is going to be a storm coming, if it is going to be pouring rain, tornadoes, anything of that, of course it goes without saying if it's like a tropical storm or a hurricane or anything, but don't plant your seeds out anytime right before that, because what will end up happening is your seeds, if they're like this, they will get displaced with all the rain, and you can actually drown your seeds. You can create rotting seeds. I've had several times where I didn't think it was going to rain and I planted out some bean plants and I watered them in, and then it just poured days after days after days, even though it wasn't supposed to. And then what ended up happening is those seeds actually rotted in the ground. They didn't germinate and they just became mushy, and then I had to replant another set of seeds. So how do you know what you're supposed to direct sow versus what you can start in a little container and then plant it out? Now, most things, right, you can plant in these little containers and then up-pot them or plant them into your raised beds or your in-ground garden or whatever it is. There are some seeds though, all right, like this packet here. This is my okra seeds. I direct sowed these seeds earlier this season. Now, okra is one of the things that you really want to be direct sowing, and before you plant anything out, you should really know if you are supposed to direct sow it versus if it can be planted ahead of time in like a greenhouse or, you know, under grow lights or whatever the case is. The main reason that things cannot be planted in this is because their root system is not strong enough to survive the transplant shock when they are transplanted. Now, this isn't always super accurate. Of course, you know, if I took my little okra seeds and I put them in here, I could probably still transplant them out, and maybe some would die, maybe they wouldn't. Of course, you can still see that they sell okra, they sell things like that at the gardening store for you to bring home in these containers and pot up in your garden. And I've never really had that much of an issue with planting anything in a container into the garden, even if it's something that really was supposed to be direct sown. So my best advice to you would be to plant things out when you know you're not going to have severe conditions. Don't plant things out in a little container like this if it is going to be really, really sunny and horribly hot outside, because your plants probably won't survive it. But other than that, the best time to start your garden or to plant things out is really the time that you have. You know, if you don't have specific time in the afternoon to transplant, if you don't have specific hours in the morning to direct sow all your seeds, just do it whenever you can. For years and years and years, when I was starting out gardening, I had no idea when you were supposed to plant out these things. And mostly my garden survived. Yeah, you're gonna have a few hiccups here and there, but that's true with everything. So if you're really worried about the exact best time of day, you know, maybe it's not perfect conditions, I would say go ahead and plant it out anyway. You know, after a couple times, you will live and learn and figure out when is more convenient for you versus, you know, how much sunlight there is. Besides those two, the severe weather conditions and tons of heat outside, really, I've been able to plant most of my stuff without any problems. Alright, so that pretty much sums it up for the best time to plant seeds and the best time of day to transplant your seedlings. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more urban gardening, more urban homesteading, urban chicken videos, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!